What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. We're live doing it all over again. I've already talked about the Marvel Legends reveals, but I knew you guys were going to be hyped up and excited to talk about them, and I wanted to get all my thoughts out. So I'm opening the floor up to y'all to talk about everything that we've heard over this past week with Marvel Legends, with the Red Sonia from Boss Fight Studios, the Hasbro layoffs, the Super 7 G.I. Joe mothership or Cobra mothership not getting funded. Whatever you guys want to talk about, it's wide open today because it's been another massive, crazy week in this wacky world of action figure collecting. So let's see who all is here tonight. Blake Tarpley, what's up, man? How are you on this fine Thursday? 80s kid from the 90s, what's going on? My dummy of the week is the Marvel Legends team at Hasbro 97. Wave 2 sounded so promising until they revealed obscure characters. We could have gotten a regular brown costume Wolverine. Well, the thing is with this X-Men 97 wave, and I know so often we as collectors we're like, oh man, they should do XYZ. This is based off the cartoon that has yet to come out. It's kind of weird. We've already gotten one wave that's come, gone, and let me pull this up so y'all can see it. I mean, the joints have already hit clearance, and yeah, my buddies were telling me, oh, these things are on sale. And then I was at Target this week. I finally saw it for myself. X-Men Magneto 749, an awesome figure for $8. I mean, that is crazy. This wave's already come and gone. It's in clearance. So if you find any of the figures, take it up to the Target price scanner, find yourself a nice surprise, get it super cheap. And those are really good figures if you can track them down for that. But this is not a comic book wave or anything like that. This just so happens where if they can kind of sort of blend them together and make it work, yay for us. But this is based on the designs of the cartoon, not, from the pages of Mark Silvestri, Jim Lee, Larry Stroman, etc. This is simply solely what we're supposed to be getting from the from the cartoon X-Men 97. Now, some of these designs can work. They can kind of fudge and like, hey, this is Magneto when he was rocking those long arm gloves, like he was going to a dinner party, and the big superhero M on his outfit. But these just so happen to look like comic books. They're not necessarily, hey, these are the original designs, and why aren't they like they are in the comic book? That's not what's at stake here. I would imagine if he shows up at any one point in time in either one of these, because we already know X-Men 97 has been renewed for a second season. If he shows up in that brown costume, we're going to get a new Marvel Legends with him in the brown costume outfit. And if it's like the Tiger Stripe one, it'll probably blend in just fine with our comic book characters and figures that we have and enjoy right now. Let's see who else is in the building here tonight. Okay, and 80 says, I'm excited for the Cyclops and Nightcrawler. I already have Magneto, but the new one looks cool. Jean Grey is a clearance purchase. Are you talking about the 97 Magneto? You already have him. Now, I think the second Magneto, I think you're really going to be into if you were reading X-Men during that time period and don't mind the fact that he's got longer hair and you don't really care about that, or if you really get into the show. And I think it's supposed to come out on Disney Plus around the springtime. So it might be that we finally see the show when Wave 2 hits. And, they've been getting kind of on that McFarlane time in terms of, hey, it shows up with their live stream and we're seeing them in stores not too long after. So I would really be surprised if they're not already got the rumors out for Wave 3 by the time the show finally airs. James Green, what's up, Thursday night crew? What's up, Jeffrey? What's up, James? How are you on this fine Thursday? One more day to go. And if you're like me, you got a little vacation time to burn. That means the next couple weeks, there's some nice days off ahead for you. 80s kid. Oh, yeah. Both caps look awesome. To rock the shirt that my wife got me featuring Falcon Sam or Captain Sam. I always find it weird calling him Captain America. It's like Captain America, Steve Rogers. He's rocking an outfit, and same deal with Bucky Cap. I call him Bucky Cap to distinguish him. So you know how it is. Omega 579. Hey, what's happening? Just me and Rerun chilling out doing our thing. Snake Eyes, what's up, man? Jamlin Parks, what up, though? What's up, my friend? James Green says, what's up to everybody in the building? Felix Vegans, good evening, Jeff and esteemed chat. What's up, Felix? How's everything for you? G Brew, I'm so psyched about the incoming X-Men and Ninja Turtle figures. Which ones have you excited? I have to be totally upfront with y'all. I was checking out my DMV action figure board and saw that the Ninja Turtles Power Ranger figures are showing up at Ross now in Burlington. And I'm like, oh, come on. I gotta track these figures down because I had them in my cart during Black Friday at Big Bad Toy Store. I just need to get the whole set. So I need is it 2 or 3 sets of turtles? I think it's 3 with yes, 2 of the turtles and then April and is it Michelangelo and then the Shredder Tommy hybrid mix, and then the Foot Soldier. I mean, there's a ton of these figures, and if they're showing up at Ross, I'm grabbing them right away. And Ross has been my spot to get all these Ninja Turtle, Power Ranger, or it's just been my spot for Power Rangers, and then any other deals. Speaking of deals, what else did y'all get this week? I forgot to ask the important question. What figures dropped in, showed up on your doorstep this week? For those who were watching on the movie thread, on the Movie Files channel, I showed this Ahsoka Tano figure, and I am very close to opening her up. I was very excited to get her. I'm trying to think about anything else that I grabbed. I've been trying to knock out figures to review for my top 10. I've got my Marvel Legends list down now, and I'm very excited about that. And what's the other one I did? Because I was doing, you see my notepad here. I've got half of them going now. So I got my Marvel Legends. That's right, my Star Wars one. And it is not surprisingly not going to include the Black Series Battle Droid with 3PO head. But I'll get onto that later. Jamelin, you see that ringside sale? No, I was busy getting ready for tonight's show. And by getting ready, I mean putting together some pictures and hoping for the best. Going, whoo. But no, I saw that they had another one there. Their Black Friday 4.0. And it's funny, I feel like I'm so removed from the AEW Jazzwares line that they have some figures as low as $2.99. I'm like, do I really care about them? Which is wild because just like 2 or 3 years ago, I'd have been all over these figures. Like, oh man, they're less than $10. But that's one of the casualties for so many lines and so much stuff being great right now, that a line where the limbs are really loose and aren't working smoothly, especially for wrestling figures, if it's not quite up to par, I'm gonna have to wait. And even though they're really dirt cheap for a lot of these figures, I'm still kind of, but I could be getting more G.I. Joe Classified Series figures, all the good stuff. I haven't opened my his tank, but I had to figure out how all these professional YouTubers do the unboxing so I can do the full thing for y'all. But I am excited about opening that bad boy up, especially as I'm seeing more photos and images for people unboxing and just taking all their cool pictures of it. Kendrick said, my favorite figure reveal from the Marvel Legends was the Sam Wilson Captain America. I love the fact that he comes with posable wings. Yes, I saw your comment on that. I might be somewhat slow responding because I was like, oh man, I wanted to talk about all that stuff. And I was like, wait, I'm going to be back on here. What am I going to do it? So I will respond to everybody's questions as usual. It just might be a little bit slower than normal, and see if I can find my window where I had my little image. And this is what happens when you start doing too many things in one time. So let's pull up that Captain Sam picture. I was pretty excited about this one. And just because we finally get the version we should have gotten all along. Excuse me. There it is. So I think he's a really nice looking figure. It had great detail from the start. I mean, they really went all out with what they put into this, like the belt design, the sculpted lines under the chest, that lining here on the underarm section and the inner torso section, I guess is what you'd call it, for all this non-anatomy majors. I do hate that mold line for the hair, though. I wish they could have fixed that. Love the stern brow and just how they did the head sculpt outside of the hairline. Really good work for this figure. And he finally gets those long overdue wings that he desperately needed. And it's just really puzzling that they didn't include that from jump. Here's the other shot that our friends over at Hasbro sent along to me. And yeah, I mean, it's nice to actually have a Captain Sam that can go all out, spread the wings, and do the thing. And he's one of the few kind of modern S versions of characters that I'm going to add into my collection. I kind of dug that Avengers that lasted for all of 10 issues, where it had him, Tony Stark, Iron Man, and also had Jane Foster, Thor, had that bizarrely colored Vision, and then Miss Marvel, Miles Morales, and Nova before they decided we're out of here. We're going to go form our own team. I like the mix of those characters. And I had that newer Hercules, and I kind of was thinking about maybe I should get that Invincible Doctor Doom to pair up with those guys. But yeah, and I still need that Wasp figure, the Nadia Van. No, I guess it was Nadia Pym to go along with them. But I like that team of Avengers. And normally I'm not a huge big deal fan of these guys where it's just like a random team they throw together for a couple issues and then it's like, sorry, but I did like that squad a lot. Those angel wings finally surpassed the Toy Biz X-Men box set. Which one now? Oops. Major bad sneeze about to come on. And I think it is. All right. Let's see here. I got to pull this up because I actually know that I still have all my images of Angel. And goodness gracious, this figure. Whoo, boy. I mean, if you want to talk about a figure that is absolutely in the running for figure of the year for next year, not just Marvel, just all around, is this guy. He is so well done. And just everything from that expression. I mean, it's totally gets the character. Sometimes I feel like they do these head sculpts and it's like, yeah, everything else is good, but why'd you guys opt for this expression? This is Warren Worthington III. Really great, super heroic. I'm the pretty boy, I'm the rich guys, had everything handed to me with a silver spoon. And I've somehow managed to make do with the fact that I've got these big gargantuan wings and I'm still loving my life. And they've got a great wingspan too. I don't really care. I'm not that upset that this glove mold is not, it's just painted on. It's not something that we get sculpted. I don't care about that. This figure looks amazing and just so excited to get this guy in the line. And we finally got an Angel that I'm so excited to have in the collection. And I mean, look at this head sculpt. Can you, I mean, this is incredible work from Hasbro. You got to give it up to him on this. I mean, this is fantastic. And check out all the detail on the feathers. I mean, it's like each one they really put effort in. It's not like some chump deal of hope for the best. And I know people are already going, well, this is not the blue one that I wanted for my defenders. I gotta assume we're gonna get that. And there's so many different ways that can go with this. I mean, you can do the yellow gloves, so you can have that full authentic look for Dark Phoenix for that X-Men team. You can put the red and white for the X Factor look with him, then make it blue and white for the defender style. I mean, they're gonna get their money's worth out of this mold, and I'm excited because Hasbro's gonna be like, how many different ways can we crank out and make use of these wing molds? And they're all valid and worthwhile uses. So can't wait to see where else they go with that. Snake Eyes says, I really like the new Sabertooth figure and I cannot wait to get him. Yeah, he's an awesome looking figure too. And he's like a figure 1B in terms of what they showed today that I am really excited about and adding to the collection. Love this shot with him and Wolverine, and just it's one of those deals where it's like, thank you. This is what we wanted out of this line, these figures, exactly this. When the news was getting leaked that Sabertooth was going to be part of this, I was like, great. Please don't mess him up. This is one that we really need to have a good version for, because we still need to get a better version of his classic attire, but we got a really great version of Sabertooth here with this Jim Lee attire. And he looks big, crazy, psychotic, the whole deal. I love the claw fingers he's got going here. So much great detail on that. He just looks like he's all set to throttle throats and go nuts. And we're going to have him going against Maverick, Wolverine, of course. But I'm digging this figure so much. They killed it with this guy. Great job on him. G Brew is with us. That Angel is gorgeous. Those wings are insane. A must-have. And you're so right. I mean, this is a figure where, so often we just trash Hasbro. And I feel like sometimes they kind of have it coming, but this one, it's like y'all did right by us. You knocked this figure out so well, and just keep doing this, and we're happy. I feel like so often these figure companies run into problems because they go rogue with our expectations and what seems like a really obvious, easy way to go with their figure execution. This figure is simply just him and Sabertooth are. This is what we said, and we delivered. Maybe surpass your expectations on what you're going to get with this figure. And to me, I'm looking and I'm trying to go, what can I complain about? What can I gripe about with this angel figure? And it's like, nothing here. And because I know, and nothing else, I'll buy another one when it goes on sale and paint the gloves, paint the boots yellow if I need to. But I mean, this figure is really well done. They just knocked it out. And sometimes that's all we really need. Just do the figure. Don't leave it up to us to go, you guys really could have done CDE, and instead y'all went IJK, and it's like, why did you do that? This one, it's ABC. They knocked it out big time. What's up, Afton? How are you on this fine Thursday? Tom Finn, 2018. I really like the X-Men 97 Wave 2 reveal, but that $749 clearance price is depressing. Don't be too depressed about it, because when I was going through to my targets, really after that first couple of weeks when they were on the shelves, they were not sitting around. People really were into this line. And I always thought it was surprising that the two that were staying on the pegs the longest were figures I assume would be right up at the first to go. That was Magneto, Gambit, and in some cases I'd see a little bit more Wolverines. And Wolverine, of course, was the figure I said, well, this is definitely a top 10 Marvel Legends figure for 2023. Why is he still here? And after I opened Magneto, I'm like, why is Magneto still on the shelves too? So, they sold really well in all of the targets in my area. I mean, I can go like this and touch a Marvel Legends Disney Plus wave figure, especially that Agatha Harkness, the Gamora. Those figures are permanent residents, and so they get clearanced out. But those X-Men 97 figures sold so fast that it's not a depressing thing, because they weren't around. I only saw that one Magneto, and it's not like Bishop, Storm. I don't think Rogue or Storm ever hit targets in my area. I know I saw them at GameStop, but they weren't showing up at the targets to be clearanced out later anyway. G Brew. This will be controversial, but I absolutely love the Goblin Queen's cartoon design. I actually like it better than the comic version. That said, I still want an 80s Goblin Queen. You said it's going to be controversial, and I don't know if I necessarily disagree with you. I think that in terms of what we would reasonably expect to get from this line in this cartoon look, that's about as good as we could hope for. And I don't think it's a bad figure at all. I think in terms of what we could get from her, I think this is a really nice looking figure. And I think the important elements of that figure are straight on. Like, she's got a kind of sinister head sculpt, and she looks to have really great articulation. And the design is okay. I mean, this is how she's going to be in the cartoon, so the risque design is going to be toned down considerably. And I think there's still enough a little woo with this figure that it still gives you that evil witch kind of vibe going, and the way her hair is going. I love the hair sculpt. I think that's really well done with this figure. And the energy trails, the green ones, I think actually work for her. And she's got the black painted nails, so we still get enough evilness to her. Now, clearly, this is what I think a lot of people wanted. And I see my boy Mega J Retro posting like, Hasbro, why did you do this to us? But I mean, we knew when the HasLab didn't fund, we weren't getting this exact particular look. So when they released this cartoon version of Goblin Queen, I was like, yeah, well, they were held true to that. And I also kind of felt like going with this toned down version of her 80s look with the more modern take of Goblin Queen still left the door open for them eventually to go back and do a proper Inferno style. So let's cross all the fingers that that's still an option for them. And maybe she sells really well. They'll go, hey, there is room and a reason for us to revisit and do that eventually. So got her. And I think the design is really good for what we could hope for with Goblin Queen. Since apparently even the Inferno version was too risque for a retail figure. So I think it's a pretty decent compromise. There we go. Let's take that off. There we go. Emmanuel Silvera says, I love your shirt, Jeff. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. My wife is like all excited and she's like, I found a new shirt. So I'm rocking, debuting it today. The Captain Falcon, and here's you can see the full thing. It's pretty awesome. It looks good, and I'm excited to rock it. And the timing was awesome. I said, look, she never cares about what figures are revealed. And I'm always like talking to the wall when I'm going, you won't believe what they showed today. And she's like, yeah, that's really awesome. But this time I was like, you won't believe it. They showed off a new Captain Falcon, and it looks great. And here you go. I'm going to rock my t-shirt with it. And she's like, and she was excited. So, I guess I'm going to have to talk to Ryan, Dan, and Dwight and go, listen, my wife just bought this t-shirt. I need you to reveal this figure. If I need to see if she can buy and track down a Marauders t-shirt. So then I can go, all right, fellas, let's get the Marauders knocked out and completed. Roberts, Infinite Realms. Hey, Jeff, I'm locked on Nightcrawler, debating Goblin Queen and Falcon Cap. Not liking 2-packs to get Sabertooth. Yeah, I get that. But I will say this Wolverine is pretty solid in terms of if I got to buy a figure to get something that I really want, I think they could have done way worse in terms of Wolverine options to pair him with. And I thought it was kind of funny when they were showing the cover inspiration. Excuse me, how it didn't match up whatsoever. It was like, well, that one doesn't fit at all. But I think this Wolverine is, if you're going to go Wolverine variants, this one kind of makes a lot of sense. It's Cowboy Wolverine, and he's rocked this look for so many years that I kind of feel like, okay, this is cool. This is a canon version of Wolverine, and this is Wolverine in his civilian mode where he is relaxing, getting into a bar brawl. I'm okay with it, but I understand your whole thing. You're like, ugh, do I really need to pay this? And this set is $50, so you're essentially paying $25 for that great Sabertooth and $25 for this Wolverine, who thankfully actually has an alternate head sculpt as well and a brown hat, which I think is kind of neat. So, but I do feel your pain on the why do I need to get 2-packs? And I think there's some other ones where I would much rather have just gotten a solo figure than paying for that extra Wolverine. And I think this one is a pretty solid pack. But I do get it. And, sometimes why do I need to pay for 2 figures when I just want one? Tom Finn, 2018 says, I like it too. The Goblin Queen design. Yeah. James says that Sabertooth looks great. Certainly one of their best looking versions. And I always think it's funny when during the live streams, Ryan, Dwight, and Dan are going, oh, now that's going to be my new favorite. But it's like, you guys could have made that best version a few iterations of Sabertooth again. But regardless, we finally have it now. So this Jim Lee Cyclops, I can take the big Sharpie and go, it's gone. I don't need this figure on my list anymore. I'm good. Now I'll go back to a classic one so I can have one that looks much better than that one that we got at first. 80s Kid says, I'm really considering leaving Marvel Legends. Hasbro should focus on G.I. Joe and Transformers. Well, I mean, you collect what you want to collect, my friend. That's what I'm always about. If you don't like anything anymore, it's time to go. Leave the line. And, there's no pressure to stick with something that you're not enjoying. And for me, that's like the AEW line. I'm like, I don't really care about these figures anymore. So I don't feel any remorse. Like, y'all should have done better with the figure execution and not making viable essential characters like the bunny chase figures. That was wild. So I'm with you. If you don't like it, get out. G Brew, excited about some of the NECA TMNT figures. Upcoming Last Ronin figures are awesome. That first to fall Raph was kind of cool. I mean, violent, but pretty cool. Karai is in my pile of loot. Excited about 2-die Leo encasing that Black Lagoon Leo. The Black Lagoon Leo does look pretty cool. Let me see if I can pull that up real fast. I like the fact that they're changing up and doing all kinds of wild monster versions of these guys. I think that's really fun and just shows they're not afraid to mix it up and do just some wild things with the line. And, can't beat that, really. they're gonna go creative. Let's see it. Where are you gonna go with this stuff? And this Lagoon Leo is really interesting. Got the hooks, got the net, got the fish face thing rocking here, all the scaly designs, and so many accessories. I mean, that's a really cool look for him. Yeah, in terms of this whole monsters theme that they've been rocking for so long. Love this diorama shot. That's really great. And he's just in there spearing a fish. He's doing his thing. He's excited. So really nice design. And I'm with you. That's a really cool figure. Sean King, what up from Georgia? What's up, Sean? How's everything down there? Felix says his tank, Marvel Select Beta Ray build, nice. Was that did you get him on that sale? Resident Evil 2. Reaper, aka Hunk, and Leon S. Kennedy, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4 versions. Nice. You made out pretty well on those. Carter Reviews, what's going on? Bringing the heat. Felix, that Cap Sam is nice. I am with him. Sean King says, I fell on hard times. I got to keep the Big Boss Man's theme song out of my head now. Sold my collection. Now I'm starting over. So I stop in on these channels to see what's new. Welcome aboard, man. Hopefully it won't be your last time hanging out with this. There's so much good stuff. And, this is a really great time to get back into collecting because of outlets like Ross and Ollie's that are having some really great figures that a lot of us are kind of like, whatever. You only have this figure for $5.99. There's some really great figures that you can get super cheap now. So great time to get back into it. Hopefully you are enjoying getting back into the fun of this stuff. Nick Fury, love the way you spelled Nick there. Very, very crazy live stream that I missed. What up, Jeff? What's up, man? How are you on this great Thursday? I want to jump ahead to Friday. G Brew from Marvel Legends, Cyclops, Goblin Queen, Magneto, Nightcrawler, Probs going to be my pickups. I'm with you, man. Good choices. Jay Woods, what's up? Wouldn't it be a real kick if Marvel Legends made a retro Falcon with this buck? I mean, well, those wings would need to be considerably different for him. I think the Vulcan mold would work for Falcon. Jamelin, man, Jeffrey, you got to rip into that. His tank is so nice, a lot of fun. I can't stop messing around with it. I think about it when I'm at work, no regrets at all. Man, my regret is I wish I had fallen into some extra money so I could have bought 3 his tanks because I'm seeing people with just 2. I'm like, oh man, that looks so cool. And this is one of those wild things where I feel like people have one on order and they're like, oh man, I'm so excited. And they have it. And I think some of the regret is going to be, yeah, it's so great. I wish I had more than one. So I feel like I'm going to be in that boat. Ryan Daly, what's up, man? How are you? G-Brute, Angel, Lilandra, Brood Wolverine 2-pack, Sabertooth 2-pack, and Lady Mandarin 2-pack are likely going to be pickups for me too. I mean, they really brought it with those figures. It's like, wow, look what y'all brought. Felix, Angel for the win. Absolutely. Jay says those angel wings are desperately crying for a dry brush to bring out the feathers. You think they needed more work? Let's see here. I really thought that they covered some great detailing, but I guess I can see what you're saying. See, those look good enough to me that I would not mess around with it, but I could see where talented customizers would go, I'm going to fix these bad boys up even more. I'm curious, what color would you dry brush them to bring out those details? A little bit of brown? Robert says, but Angel doesn't have butterfly joints? Why? That's funny. You just said that. And they said the Vulcan mold, which I was pretty sure had butterfly joints. And yeah, what? Maybe there's something about the wings and the execution of moving them back too far. I don't know. It's a really great question. I'm curious how his articulation is going to work. But sometimes they'll show off figures and then it's like, wait, this is different than it was. Let's see here. All right, great. There we go. At least on these, they're very consistent. No butterfly joints. I'm curious on that because the Vulcan mold certainly does, right? Afton says the wings are so big. I wonder how big they are. I don't know. Well, fortunately, they're not big enough that he's going to need to be spread out like my Toy Biz one, where I had to take him off my X-Men shelf because the Joker was so big in it. And the main reason was because of this rumored Angel that we finally see now. Because I was like, gotta keep him. But he was dominating so much shelf space, and my X-Men setup didn't have enough room for him to have a flight stand and stay out of the way. And the Toy Biz ones were massive and very heavy. I'm sure that this one will not have like anchor down wings where it's just like he is a shelf toppler on every circumstance, no matter what kind of flight stand you have him on. So I'm excited to see how light they are, because we've seen some wing figures as of late, certainly after the Toy Biz Angel figure, where it's like, oh man, this is great. He's not even weighing anything down. So I'm sure he'll be okay on the shelf on that end. 80s kid wants to see the Marvel Now cap. I'm trying to remember what Marvel Now Captain America looks like. Felt like we've already gotten that figure, but it could be wrong. G. Brew says 2024 is going to be a great year for X-Men figures. Between Marvel Legends and that Mafex Phoenix, it's going to be great. I hope we get an update on that Mafex Age of Apocalypse Cyclops, because the Marvel Legend version sucks. You can't even stand it with you. And that should have been a much better figure, but was not. Tom Finn 2018, thank you so much for the 1999 super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks. That definitely makes me feel better. X-Men 97 Wave 1 selling well. I thought that they were, but seeing the clearance price threw me. Yeah, they're doing these deals where it's just like all the time these figures are just like bam, gone with quickness. And it's not necessarily an indicator that these figures aren't selling well, but for sure in my area, the only figure that might still be on the pegs is Magneto. They sold pretty quickly. If you still want them, of course, you can go to Target, and they're target.com. Now that I mentioned that, I actually don't think they are still on Target's website. Let's see. Let me pop this in real fast. X-Men 97 Bishop Q. Target. There we go. All right, let's see here. Because I was just checking the other day. So he's out of stock. It's funny because I didn't check this, and I was trying to look because they've got another Target sale, of course, going on, and I love the Target sales. I hype them up anytime I can get them. So he's out of stock, and they don't have him. You can't find him through the direct search, so you have to go like through Google and then track him down. He's $14.86. I guess they have a sale going on, which is weird because I guess that's the new norm price for these guys. But $14.86, you can't find them, but if you do see them in stores, you could grab them and make out pretty well. And they've got a great sale going. The spend 50, save 10, spend 100, save 25. Lots of great figures available. I mean, they can't get rid of these Disney Plus figures. I find it so amazing. It's just like nobody's interested, nobody wants them, and they're just like, no, thank you. We're not interested, don't want them. Also, excuse me, easy for me to say. Also, WWE figures this week are 20% off in addition, so you can really stock up and make out pretty well. No, thank you, Target. Yeah, so you can get 20% off and take advantage of you can stack those sales. So that's a really great deal. If you collect WWE figures, now is the time to make some hay, as they would say, getting those figures. So definitely a way to check them out. There we go. I was thinking that Angel's already a candidate for 2024 figure of the year myself. Just be prepared to pay deluxe prices. I'll be patiently surprised at anything under 35. And I almost feel like that is okay. And I know there's going to be original Toy Biz Marvel collector me going, dude, we paid $10 for an Angel. But I feel like this figure is pretty well done. And, in this case, I kind of want to encourage, you did the figure I wanted, and you did them right. So here, I'm not going to wait for clearance. I know he's going to go on sale later. Maybe what I'll do is I'll wait for another Target sale like this one and, knock a few bucks off, use my Target circle points. So I'm getting them cheaper than 35 without feeling like, did I really just pay $35 for one figure? So I think that's what I'll do, but I definitely don't want to wait till he's clearanced out and be like, ugh. Even though I'm sure eventually, like all these Marvel Legend figures, all these figures, I shouldn't even point out Marvel Legends because everything seems to be hitting clearance. And, you know, like December 27th, because I think Christmas is a Monday. Yeah, like December 27th. It'll be like a mad rush to Target. What's on clearance now, guys? What's up with the winter restock in the inventory? 80s Kid, Wolverine, and Sabertooth look fire. Savage Land, what's up, man? Will the real Sabertooth please stand up? Angel for the win. Yo, I was checking out your video breaking down. You're one of those who were making me jealous about the his take and having more than one Savage Land. Check out his video. Check out his channel. He does great stuff, especially when we talk about our favorite brand, G.I. Joe Classified Series. Yeah, he's got this great shot of his thing. He's got Cobra Commander in the middle, the Crimson Strike team hanging on one, coming out of one door, Baroness and Destro out the other. It's a great shot. And great work breaking down all those figures, man. Loving that. Can't wait to see them when I open the box myself. 80s Kid, I meant to say, I translated. I was with you. One Honor. What's going on? I got Agatha and Gamora for $9 each. Are they already that price now in stores? Because I would totally believe that. Felix, she has those heels. Yeah, I'm a little worried that that's going to make her a topple falling down in the middle of the night. What was that sound? Is it someone breaking in? No, it's just Goblin Queen toppling over 10 figures. G. Bruce says, I bought the 97 Rogue because I love Rogue, but the 2016 Marvel Legends, the GOAT. So I ended up giving the new one to my brother. He was thrilled. His daughter saw it and said, oh, that's my friend Rogue. Nice. I thought the head sculpt on this new Rogue, the 97 one, looked a lot better in person. I don't think any of the pictures really did her justice. In hand, seeing the figure face to face like that, I was like, this is a pretty nice figure. And I'm like you, the Marvel Legend 2016, is that the one where, is that the first one, or is that the Target exclusive with the fuller, higher hair? Because that one is an improvement on that original one. Better head sculpt, I think, and just a really great figure. I still like that original Rogue that we got, and I have her with the modern House of X line that I don't really care about anymore, but that's the story for another time. So yeah, I like both of those Rogue figures, and this new one's not bad, especially for people who missed out. Savage Land Cap, Comic Falcon Cap looks fun. Buck looks beefy. It's a good figure, man. If you don't have it, you know, they still got the old pin joints on it. They didn't switch all that up, but it's a really nice looking figure. And he's fun to pose too. G-Brew, an Inferno Maddie, an X-Factor Gene fan channel or Pulse exclusive 2-pack would be amazing. That was the perfect opportunity to say would be fire. I'd buy that instantly. Me too, because you guys know I have been going, Hasbro, what's up with my X Factor? Finish it off. I need Jean in her yellow and red attire. I need Beast in his yellow and brown attire. And Iceman with his belt. I saw some pictures, really great pictures of that Marvel Select Iceman. I just wish they could have sized him down so he would fit in. And I know that's not their problem. That's mine. But he looks really good. And I wish Hasbro could deliver Marvel Legends Iceman that quality and have the belt so I can have him in his X Factor look with his power restraining belt. Kindred 1998 says, do you remember the two packs they did for the Squadron Supreme? Well, yes, I do. They could do the same thing for the Black Order. 3 2-packs. You get Proxima Midnight and Corvus for one, and Black Swan and Supergiant. They could. I'm kind of interested if Marvel and Hasbro are kind of over Thanos and his crew. So unless there's some big event where they come back into the forefront, we may be waiting a while for more comic accurate versions of those characters. Savage Land, also Logan and Hulk in tuxedos. My favorite comic cover, Wolverine #8. It's a great cover, and I think they did a pretty good job of reenacting it. Although you can see that Hulk can't possibly cross his arms, and that's something I really wish he were able to do to really pull that off. And that's something I wish they could just do better with those Hulk-size figure articulations in general, so he could do that, and maybe they do like a bear hug deal. Can't quite do that though. G-Brew. I was on the fence about Lilandras. I've never kept any of the Imperial Guards I picked up. Why? They're great figures. Well, Fang is a really good figure. Gladiator needs a complete an utter overhaul because his figures aren't great. That bro Wolverine put it over the top for me. That's getting displayed with my Brood Queen. Yeah, I mean, for all everybody who still held on to those figures, good for you. And I'm feeling like, oh man, I did not really think they were quite at the quality that I wanted them. And I was kind of, I would say hating, but I just was like, nah, these aren't good enough. I need y'all to come a little harder with these figures. And of course, now I kind of wish that I had at least gotten the Brood Queen assembled and done all that. But yeah, I think they did a pretty cool job with this Wolverine. It's a fun variant that, you know, we don't have to have it, but it's definitely one of those where, man, I really need to pay for this Brood Wolverine just to get Lalandra. But this is a situation where I don't care about this variant. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's terrible. I think they actually executed him really well. So I'll just have him to the side. Hopefully they'll do some more broods so I can have Wolverine chilling out with them and fighting the X-Men, because you start that. And I know the Marvel Legends team loves completing teams. That's what they do. Hopefully we'll get some more brutes. Ski Raider, what's going on? 100% facts, fam. Loving that 2-pack patch Anjo fix. I cannot believe I said that without twisting my tongue one time. Good job. So yeah, I love those figures. I think they did a really nice job. Probably not a day one purchase for me, unlike some of these other 2-packs. Looking real closely at you, Sabertooth and Wolverine. Tom Finn 2018 says this was a strong showing. It's a shame that it had to come on the heels of the layoffs. Let me just talk a little bit about those layoffs. Hasbro has some people making too much money, and these people who are really trying to get these great figures out to us are feeling the brunt of it. And because Chris Cox, the CEO, says we're going to double our profits, and not really caring whatsoever what goes into that. And we made all this money during the pandemic. What's going on? We overpromised and we're under delivering. And it's just one of these things where it's like, dude, you did not understand what was going on at the time. It wasn't nothing, but it certainly had a lot to do with the fact that, yeah, this was more about people being stuck at home and not being able to do anything. So let me buy tons and tons of figures so I can have fun. Let me get over this crazy pandemic that's killing people, and let me go have some fun. And when that ended, so did a good amount of people's crazy disposable income. I'm going nuts, and I'm just going to spend a lot of money and doing these things. So when he's laying off people, when he's like, yeah, we're going to do this thing, here we go. Hasbro announces plans to grow profit 50% over the next 3 years. This was from October 2022. And this press release was absurd because it was like, you guys don't even understand what's going on. So he made this statement: Hasbro has many strengths, amazing brands that span generations, a gaming portfolio second to none. Building on those strengths, today we announced a new day for Hasbro with the introduction of Blueprint 2.0. This strategic approach is core to how we'll continue to bring our strong brands to life for consumers of all ages, and how we'll manage the business to monetize our intellectual property, drive investments, deliver profitable growth, and create shareholder value. That last one is the one that you really need to pay attention to, that entire deal. But their Investor Day highlights. Let's talk about just a few of them. I'm not going to go super long on this, but you can just see right away where things went wrong. Making strategic investments to fuel the blueprint. Direct to consumer and digital will be a major investment focus for the company. The company's direct platform, anchored by Hasbro Plus and Dungeons and Dragons Beyond, is poised to become a $1 billion digital and e-commerce direct business with over 50 million accounts by 2027, up from 20 million today, and will host new exclusives, including the recently launched Hasbro Selfie series. The return of the iconic sports collectible starting lineup. Eek! HasLab crowdfunding projects, where they're kind of 50-50 on those. So they're not really living up to what they were hoping. And gosh, there was something else on here. Oh, right, here we go. Unlocking brand value to drive innovation and growth. The company's action figure portfolio is on pace for a banner year in 2023 behind count them six, blockbuster theatrical releases, including Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Maybe not. Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, with a builder figure that no one wanted, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, check, and Lucasfilm's Indiana Jones. So this guy was in charge, and he really had no idea what the heck he was talking about. He was banking too much money on things that weren't going to work. And this is what cost people jobs in December, right before Christmas and the holidays. So that was just terrible. And, you hate to see anybody getting laid off, and especially when you've got these higher ups who are given millions of dollars to make these decisions that drop the ball and totally mess up. He's comfy with his $9 million salary. Meanwhile, people are having to get escorted out by security because of his decision. So terrible, and hate to see that happen. Now I'm off my soapbox. Let's talk about figures again. Uncarded reviews. That Sabertooth and Angel are definitely the best reveals. I'm with you. Jamelin, I know it's easy to blame Hasbro for the Goblin Queen's costume, but I'm not convinced it is their decision. They did Diana from Dungeons & Dragons, and maybe a licensing restriction similar to McFarlane and Guns. Yeah, I mean, maybe so. I guess Hasbro's doing, or Marvel's doing this whole no more scandalous women. Instagram doesn't exist. So maybe that's what it was. I like how McFarlane worked around that whole gun restriction. I'll just do a pack of guns. If you happen to want to put them with your DC figures that use guns, go nuts. So I just kind of feel like they'd gotten close, pretty close with the Goblin Queen. So close that I kind of feel like you're right there. And shoot, the Emma Frost and Black Queen and the Hellfire Club pack are more risque than what we got from. I mean, they're basically wearing, not even basically, they're wearing lingerie. And Goblin Queen's at least just wearing a tattered up outfit. So I don't know. Maybe some people at Hasbro, at Marvel, have become major pearl clutchers, but I don't know, man. I really wish we didn't have to worry with that, especially through the Pulse HasLab outlet. Ryan says, disappointed that none of these Wolverine 2-packs come with the B1 Battle Droid head. Tip my hat to you for that start, my friend. I'm still so salty about that. It's like, why? Gotta get my battle droid so I can army build. That was a bad Hasbro decision. G-Bro, I had that old Playmates creature from the Black Lagoon Leo when I was a kid. I got it at Goodwill for 10 cents and played with it constantly. I'm so excited for the update. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Jeff, what's up, Jeff? Hey, I know you probably talked about it, but I love the Secret Empire Captain America. I am so thrilled, literally, like legit, no sarcasm, to see that someone is excited about that figure, because I really was like, did anyone like that series to be excited about this figure? I mean, using that Ultimate Captain America buck is really strong. I mean, it's a great buck. And I was so impressed with the Ultimate Captain America figure that I didn't want. I just needed the head for Puff Adder, but really great figure. And they did some amazing detail work on this guy. I mean, all of the detail on the costume, the head sculpt works just fine for this. The shield looks great. And they were able to repurpose all that they really needed from the Ultimate Captain America body, and including that new torso piece. So they did the work. I just was really confused who was asking for this. So I am legit happy to hear that you wanted this figure and are excited about it. So at least someone out there on the internet is actually going to be excited about getting this figure in hand. So love to hear that. Tom Finn says, yeah, I had no problem with the X-Men 97 Goblin Queen. Glad to have her. It's not this line's job to complete the comic accurate Marvel Legends. Exactly. David Thanos says, loving the Nightcrawler and the Sabertooth in that 2-pack. Nightcrawler's solid too. Lost in Wallace, what's going on, my friend? Hayden TCEM2, since Lady Mandarin got revealed. I hope we get Mandarin in his ornamental robe soon. I don't know about that, Hayden, but I know for sure this should open up Mandarin with his let's see if I can pull this up to armor. Gosh, there's so many different versions of Mandarin and armor now. It's just wild. That's not the look I was trying to find. They have done so many designs with this guy. All right, here's one that actually shows. No, that picture is going to be way too small for you all to see. Here we go. And maybe we should just show Ryan this one. This is the version that Ryan should sign off on because they're using the base for the Marvel trading card. So let's get this look for him, and that way we know Ryan will be all about it. I'm down. I will take this version of Mandarin. I'm hoping there's nothing offensive with this look, but I mean, we got that basically with Psylocke, so we should be able to get this with Mandarin. And we opened up the gates, so hopefully we can see this because we got to have his Lex Luthor in figure form from Hasbro at some point. Sigman, every time I think I'm out, Marvel Legends drags me back in. This time with Angel. I'm not gonna go, you guys need to stick with Marvel Legends, but to me, they have their problems like any toy line except for maybe G.I. Joe Classified series. But when they bring it home, and I feel like most of these figures, like I'm not looking at them going, gosh, that figure is really poorly done. Even a figure like, like one that I just don't care about, I think they really executed them strongly to the point where like, I don't feel like I have to toss this figure in the never to be seen again bin. I think all the 2-pack figures look good for what they are. The head sculpts on all the Wolverine figures are exceptional. Paul Harding did a few of them, and I really thought they were strong figures. But man, we're never going to get a line as comprehensive and as cohesive and all encompassing as we've gotten with Hasbro's Marvel Legends line. So got to keep supporting them and support them when they do good. I shouldn't just say blanket, hey, we got to support crap. But when they knock out figures like this, I am definitely going to be like, yo, this is what they can do when they're really good. This is what you guys need to be doing all the time. And if so, I will happily support you and say Marvel Legends is killing it. I don't know if I would at the end of next year saying, oh man, Marvel Legends is now dethroned G.I. Joe is my favorite toy line again. I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but I would love for it to be like 1B compared to G.I. Joe's 1A. I'd love that. Right now it's like 2, maybe 3, because there's some other lines that are exciting me a little bit more, but Marvel Legends, when they're on it, can still bring out some quality product. Lawson says, if it were me adding brushing to the wings, I'd use a warm gray color. Okay, so I want to see what you customizers are going to do with these wings now. Frustrated Fan Sports Show. I said something on the Hasbro live stream that they just made you a happy man with that Angel figure. They did, man. I was ecstatic, and maybe we'll see Banshee now. But I'm very happy that we started pushing the Angel figures out to us because there's more. And this is one I don't care about the lazy repaints because every repaint they do on this mold is going to be justifiable, and I'm probably going to buy it. So they've got the mold now. They've got everything in place. There's no excuse. Give me blue skin, blonde haired, Warren Archangel version with the molting wings. Give me the whole deal, and I'll be happy because I'm really ecstatic to get this one. G Brew is saying what a lot of us are thinking, probably. Still waiting on the Outback versions of Psylocke, Storm, and Colossus. I remember borrowing a graphic novel copy of Inferno from the library as a kid and loving it. I'd take all those New Mutants too. There's always a funny thing with Inferno and the X-Men looks because they're sort of demon possessed at that point, Goblin Queen possessed. So their outfits are a little scratched up and jagged, and they look like they're possessed or feeling the brunt of Inferno because of their proximity to Madeline. And so while I'm going Inferno outfits, I mean, Havoc's wearing a risque outfit too. I mean, he's got basically a loincloth showing all that leg, showing off the pecs and the arms and all that good stuff. And I mean, do we want that? I would take a 2-pack of Goblin Prince Havoc with Goblin Queen Madeline. I'd buy that for sure. Pulse exclusive it up, baby. Make that happen. But we need to get Rogue with the Psycho Mohawk. That'd be awesome. Long shot with the ripped jacket, vest thing going. Dazzler, I guess her outfit's pretty much the same. Psylocke with her possessed armor. That would look cool. I mean, these would be cool action figures. And I love Inferno, so I'd be all about them. Give me Sim, give me Nastry. Make it all happen. Let's do it, Hasbro. I mean, this is why there's so much stuff. when we say, oh, I'm almost done, there's so many more Marvel Legends figures they can still be cranking out. So we got to see them coming. Jeff says Secret Empire was a great story. I'm going to get 2 Secret Empire caps, one open, one to display. Hail Hydra. See, this and your Serpentor avatar are making a lot more sense why you like that storyline. Lawson says, my favorite cap is a 20th anniversary cap. I don't like the shield, but I replaced that with which one? And then painted the black shadows on his mask. Looks amazing now. I sent Jeffrey a look at my head paint on the cap. Don't know if you showed it on the live stream or not. Did you just send it? If not, send it to me again. Ah, there you go. I do, thanks. Okay, let's see here. Lawson's in the picture, and there you go. I think you guys can see that. See, this is what I'm talking about. If they had done this, they still could buy it, put it in another version. But that's Captain America to me. That's the full look. And I don't know if I'm afraid to do it, but man, that is what I want to see with that 20th anniversary of Captain America. So maybe I'll be really patient and try not to mess up anything with the black. But awesome job, Lawson. Maybe you can walk me through it so I can make sure not to mess up my cap. Love to see Lions BK. Good evening, LMF crew. What's up, man? 80s kid. I'd love to see an astonishing Wolverine and Beast. Maybe an Abigail Brand and Sword Beast. I think, well, we need Cat Beast first before we get the Sword Beast. Like, we absolutely need to get him. So, patience on that. Of course, you saying that means they're going to make the Sword Beast first. And we're like, come on, why do you do this one? And it'll be another 2 years before we see the Astonishing Beast to wrap up the team. And I guess we still need a better in-scale version of Kitty and Colossus, so still got a little bit of work on that Astonishing team. G-Bro, bet that fire effect thing at the end of the Marvel Legends live stream is either for Rachel or an update's classic green costume Phoenix, or, both. When my friends who were basically watching it with me were texting back and forth during the live stream, they were like, it's got to be Dan Ketch Ghost Rider, right? I have no idea. I was kind of being funny and said, why should it be Starbolt from the Imperial Guard? The one character that no one's expecting, and we're going to be like, oh, okay, well, him. So I almost feel like that's a character they would do just because he's so far out of left field and not at all what anyone would want or be calling for with that. And for everybody who doesn't know who Starbolt is with the Imperial Guard, this is that character. Go. So I could easily see him being one that they throw in there. I wouldn't complain because more Imperial Guards. Since you started it, bringing Fang out, I need him to fight my X-Men. So he's a cool looking character anyway. Oh, 91. If the rumors are true and they're going to produce less product, people might want to be careful about waiting for clearance. Yeah, I think there's going to be something to that where you might get lucky and find stuff on clearance next year. Because I really feel like this year went bananas with stuff hitting clearance. It's like, why is this figure that is still at the local Target already here and in clearance somewhere else? And Ross and Burlington have stepped up as major players. I'm really curious to see what happens with them over the course of the next year. Are they still going to be go-to spots for Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified, Transformers, you name it, they've got it on sale, major discount. I mean, they've got everything. They got McFarlane, so it's not just limited to Hasbro products. They've got Mattel products, so a ton of stuff from various lines showing up at Ross, Burlington. So we're really interested to see what happens next year with this. But if it continues on at this pace, I'll be upset about it. Let me just say that. Austin, just open up my His Tank Cover Commander figure. Life's too short. You gotta open it, man. No reason not to. I want the short-haired original villain rogue look from the 80s. I gotta have her original Uncanny X-Men costume before I get evil version. Maybe they could just put that head sculpt on her so she looks like she's super old and all of a sudden she got de-aged by decades when she joined the X-Men. That was wild. G-Brew, give me an Astonishing X-Men Beast and Wolverine 2-pack and a smaller Astonishing Kitty and Colossus. 2-packs that wouldn't irritate fans. Did you feel like fans were irritated with these 2-packs? I felt like, for the most part, outside of maybe the Lilandra and the... I think the Lilandra was the only one that was kind of questionable in terms of who they put together. The rest of them made sense, even though I didn't necessarily think they needed to go 2-pack with all of them. I mean, the Lady Mandarin and Wolverine was a choice they could have done. I mean, I think they would have sold separately just fine on their own. But yeah, I thought most people were at least, these are fine. These 2-packs make sense. Mr. Roper, I've allocated all funds to classify, but Legends has me dipping into those funds for some of these figs. That winged Falcon cap is Mando for me, and that Angel, woo, woo. Oh yeah, she's great. He's great. And yes, we do need a Rachel Summers from Excalibur stat. The great thing about her in that outfit, she works with the X-Men too. But I love both versions. The one with the Phoenix burst in her outfit before she goes full Hound. And I mean, we got to get her because there are multiple versions of her we need in figure form. Maybe they could just do the red Phoenix burst look so we can have her on the team and then we can get the Excalibur version later on. I feel like they're missing out on some opportunities with some of these figures to do. What is going on with Hasbro and McFarlane crossover? So basically, he has access now to do page punchers of very specific Hasbro products. So that's G.I. Joe, Transformers, and what was the other one? It's not an overall you get access to Marvel. That's clearly still with their partners over at Hasbro. It's not that. They just have the other one. So let me see here if I can pull that up. Here we go. Great. Arlen sent this along to me. So they have access to Transformers, Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Dungeons and Dragons to their page punchers lineups. Each page puncher will include a full comic book and 2 articulated figures. I'm really curious to see what they do with G.I. Joe because I'm very interested in what brand they're going to go with because there's Marvel, there's Marvel may be shaky. IDW, maybe that's the route they go. Then there's the Image Skybound version, so that might be the avenue they go. It's not like they've changed the designs much, so I think that's probably where they'll go on that front with the comic books. And if you haven't been reading the G.I. Joe, Larry Hama's Continuing Adventures, Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson, awesome. Please read them. Check them out. Support your local comic book stores when you buy them too. Lawson, I want to see a blue beast with the 70s, 80s gray beast head sculpt. I don't know why we haven't gotten that figure. Maybe it's because they're working on a smaller size beast that works in a little bit better so he can look a little bit smaller to Wonder Man. That's something that we definitely need to get. G-Brew, I want all the Rogue figures, every costume, all of them. I don't care if she wore the costume for a single panel in a What If comic. Give me all the Rogues. That's how I feel about Flash villains too. Ryan wants to know how many members of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard we got so far. 2. A lousy 2. And that's a team that has so many cool looks. I feel like they're a group they could sneak in different members into different box sets, do 2-packs, post exclusives. I mean, we've seen Heralds, we've seen the Squadron Supreme Power, whatever version their name was for that version, Squadron Sinister, Squadron Supreme, you name it. We had those 2-packs. I really feel like that's an avenue they could use on Pulse to get more of those figures out because some have really cool looks. And I think they could do a lot of them with just a head sculpt and repainting properly on existing molds. I think they can fill out a lot of members of the team. Like Smasher's one is really easy to do. And they could almost use a Matt Murdock head and almost get away with it. So there are some options. And we should knock out more of these figures than just Fang and Guardian or Gladiator. Guardian. Randall, what's up? The new X-Men figures look sweet. Got to get Gene and Scott and Maddie. Still wish I could get a Nighthawk from the original Squadron Supreme mini and a yellow jacket. Loving the comic book figures. I think the best part about the MCU kind of having to be on timeout for a while during the strike was it meant Hasbro couldn't lean into too much MCU product. They had to crank out and pump out a lot of comic book stuff as we're seeing already. So that was really exciting just seeing comic books and just, hey, we got an Iron Man, we got an Iron Spider. Who cares? Here's on to the comic book stuff. So that was encouraging to see, and I was really happy about that. Lost, and the design teams deserve none of the fan scorn that they get. They have nothing to do with the bad executives' mismanagement at Hasbro. Yes, sir. I'm with you. Mario C, what's up? I'm hoping for another Professor X this year, maybe 97 version to re-release. I don't know if he's on the show because I think the whole premise is Magneto is taking his role with the X-Men because Xavier is vanished, possibly dead. So maybe a flashback version. Maybe that'll be the avenue they finally give us him in the jumpsuit that we probably should have had now with the X-Men Jim Lee team that they basically completed at this point. DJ Jedi, what's up? I don't even collect Marvel Legends X-Men like that, but the Angel reveal is fire. That's what I keep saying. I mean, if you make a great looking figure, people who are kind of fence sitters on that particular team subset will go, I can find a place in my collection for this figure because it looks that cool. And that's all you have to do. I mean, it seems really simple, but I feel like they go through hoops to make it harder. But every so often, when they get it, it comes through. G. Bruce says, when we didn't meet our goals over the last year where I worked, corporate fired managers, not the regular blue-collar workers on the factory floor. Fire the people who deserve it. Yeah, I mean, or at least the people who have more of a say in what happens, right? Slasher Khan, what's up? Angel and Sabertooth are who I'm most interested in. That 2-pack Logan is cool looking too. So at least Sabertooth comes with a cool figure. Yeah, I think it's a good pairing. And Logan, I mean, like I said, you could have Avenger card nights with that Logan thing, Johnny Storm, Cap, bring in Doctor Strange if you want. I mean, you could do some fun stuff with that. M. Beltran, what's up, Jeff? What's up? Bit disappointed on Sam Wilson Cap. Thought they would have used Ultimate Cap mold. I don't know how much I'm looking in that direction because my ultimate. You're like, why is he looking over there? I've got my Ultimate Captain America. He's in the photo booth now, so I can show you a picture because I was pretty happy with how he turned out. But yeah, I don't know how much of that figure they'd be able to reuse for him with that costume. Here you go. Here's a little teaser for those of you check it out on LowsMovieFiles.com. Ultimate Captain America. They really great figure and really excited with how he turned out. I don't even care about the Ultimates, but I'd actually buy some more if they were this quality. So yeah, it turned out nice. And I was finally able to make use of this MCU Cap or Samuel Nick Fury, that guy. Yeah, I can come up with his name and pair him with him. So he's not totally alone. He's got a buddy to hang out with. But I think they needed that original suit because trying to reuse that mold for him would have caused more problems. It would have been a cheap looking repaint. Sman Marvel. Hope they continue the first X-Men card backs, at least the core X-Men team. They didn't show those, but I'm assuming we'll see some more of those for sure. One Honor. I'm hoping for an Exodus figure. Yeah, Exodus is a really cool outfit, real cool look. I wonder if they're waiting to do him until they get around to more Magneto's acolytes, maybe. Excuse me. In Beltran, Angela's cool, but wanted the blue version with metal wings. I mean, we'll get that eventually, I'm sure, because they roll this out, and I think this is the body they should be using for Angel anyway. So I'm sure they'll work out any version of him they can with this. Hopping down the water. I'm just really surprised they didn't do Isaiah Bradley with the Ultimate Cap body and went straight to Evil Cap. Villains are nice, but Evil Cap in red, white, and blue, at least do the green version. I thought they already did the green version of this. Lawson says if Marvel Legends wants to be really impress me, they can do battle damage waves. Spidey, Iron Man, Cap, Wolverine, etc. Though maybe Daredevil. He's another one I think would really make sense in a battle damage setup, maybe even more so than Cap. But yeah, I think those would sell, especially Spider-Man, Wolverine, and like I said, Daredevil. Thank you, Lawson. I may have to send it off to you. The original Toy Biz. Yeah, that's funny because I have him to shoot with my 20th Marvel Legends cap, and I don't know who has that shield. I need to track it down. Maybe my Maestro Hulk has it. I think that's who has it. Hate to have a little bit off topic, but you hope Jada makes Zero from Mega Man. I think they will. They've been doing a bunch of those figures, so I couldn't see why they wouldn't. DJ Jedi never understood the Pearl collection around the prospect of a comic accurate Goblin Queen when we had countless Elektra, Psylocke, and other scantily clad Marvel Legend figures over the year. Don't forget about Namor and Hercules, man. Come on now. Gotta keep it balanced and fair. Tom Finn 2018. Jeffrey, do you have the Storm Collectibles Gatchaman Ken the Eagle? I picked one up from Amazon earlier this week, impulse buy, but haven't opened it yet. Reviews have been mixed. I haven't. I'm starting to see people are getting Terry Bogard. I'm like, oh no, not yet. Give me a couple weeks. No, but let me know what you think because I'm curious now. And Storm Collectibles will eventually finish up a team, but they're so slow that they've done so many more reveals since they showed off Ken, and I'm like, where are the rest of them? So I don't know. It's one of those where I'm kind of, if they would show figures that belong specifically to a team faster, I'd be more excited. But because they're so slow, I'm like, I'll get around to it maybe. Let me know what you think. Jamlin says, I think all the 2-packs they released shown in the last year or so have been great, particularly the X-Men. I agree. No real issues on that end at all. Yeah, and they made pretty sensible pairings too, where it's not like, what? Why are you doing this? I think they've all made sense. Thank you. I'm glad somebody caught that Flash villain reference. Green Man, I like how clean most Marvel Legends figures look right now. I think they do look good, and some have been really spectacular. I feel like, thankfully, we've been a nice distance away from a figure like this. My walking frisbee, Jean Grey, that still needs an upgrade. I need to see how people fix this figure because so disappointing. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, they've done really good figures. And when I was coming up with this top 10 list, I was like, what about this one? What about this one? And I was like, man, I could have done 20 because I think they've done some really strong work this year. And they've made some decisions that were a little bit head scratching, but when they're on their game, Hawkeye with Sky Cycle, Black Widow, it's like, just do this all the time. I don't even think I care about paying $25 for a figure. Much the same way, I don't really care about paying that price for G.I. Joe figures because I know I'm going to get a quality figure. Comfortable, hoping I don't have issues getting that Falcon cap. He's a Target exclusive, totally different from the Secret Empire Captain America, which is exclusive from Walmart. So I don't think you're going to have any problems. They're great about stocking their exclusives. And speaking of Target exclusives, let me show another figure that I saw on my running around the other day. For those of you who haven't grabbed it yet, hopefully you can see. Yeah, $21.24 for the Moon Knight figure, and basically the same price. The Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man is that same price too, but he was not on the shelves. So check out your Targets. They may have those figures if you're looking for, and I'm sure we're going to see the same thing with the Falcon cap. So if you want them, you won't have an issue getting them. Green Man, but I did want Landra to be single carded. I think she would have made more sense paired with an Imperial Guard figure, and they could have done Wolverine with another Brood member. I think that would have been cool, but I don't hate the idea of getting a Brood Wolverine, so I'm with you. Afton says, I wonder if they're going to make more Marvel Ultimate characters and do like a 12-inch Giant Man. Afton, I think that makes a lot of sense. This Captain America is really well done. I don't know why I keep gesturing to this figure that you all can't see off camera. At least do Thor, Iron Man. I think those make a lot of sense. They're doing a new Ultimate Comics line, so maybe we'll see more of those figures. Maybe Ultimate Black Panther. Maybe we'll see him. So it's possible. It would make a lot of sense to just throw in one Ultimate figure and then call it a night. Austin, Namor's just wearing a G-string, for goodness sake. Disney Hasbro double standard much? Exactly. Note to Hasbro: Namor should come with dollar bills to put in his trunks. Don't get him started. We'll see him back in the leather attire. No time with this kind of talk. Carlos Castillo. Hopefully I said that right. So happy with today's Marvel Legends streams. They revealed 3 figures I've been waiting since I've gotten into collecting. Oh, cool. You can't put me on a cliffhanger like that, Carlos. Which of those 3 figures were you most excited to see today? Lawson, Legends head sculpts and face paint has never been as good as it is right now. Just kind of Marlon Blando expressions at times when a character needs more attitude in their looks. Yeah, I mean, I think they've been doing really good work, and all those Wolverine head sculpts, fantastic. Robert's Infinite Realms, thank you so much for the 199 super chat, and I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you, my friend. MP. What's up, Jeff? What's up, man? I was able to get Supreme Punk from my main Walmart. I still need to get that figure. Also found the Thor hammer and Zed helmet at Ross. Nice. Settle for the hammer because I have no idea what I do with the helmet. You know, I went out Saturday and saw a bunch of Thor helmets, and I guess Thor hammers, and I guess they were all hitting the area at once because everyone was saying, I found all these Thor hammers. And some people were finding the Black Panther helmets too. So good day for people looking for that stuff and loving what Ross is doing, providing a great outlet for cheaper figures from them. Lawson, Lilandra, and Deathbird should have been the 2-pack, and I feel like they could probably use a lot of that mold that they got now with the Goblin Queen for Deathbird. G-Brew, I want more Brood figures in general. I'd really like to build up a Brood army. I'd probably go over my 5 fig limit for them. Yeah, I'd like to army build them too. Lilandra and Hepzibah would have been great too. Yeah, because she could have been posing the package, glaring at Lilandra. That would have been awesome. G-Brew, yes, absolutely. We need a Hepzibah. The Invisible Woman should have come with $1 bills and put her name where trunks. G says, hey, Jeff. What's up, man? Happy Thursday to you as well. I'm doing great. Pretty excited for today's legend reveals. So much good stuff. What you like? Carlos, sorry. I've held out so long for Sabertooth, Angel, and Jean Grey. Sam Cat was the icing on the cake too, although I would have loved an Isaiah Bradley. Let me pull up the list here because I don't think you're going to be too upset with that. So, you know, we got the leaked list of the figures that are still supposed to be coming, and I'm pretty sure Isaiah Bradley was on that list. So let's see here. Trying to see if I can. And I don't have the absolute perfect person. This is like someone else who reposted it. But on the leaked list of figures for next year, we've still got Spider-Verse, Penny Parker, and SPDR, Deluxe Shumagorath, a fan channel, Isaiah Bradley, Captain America. So he's still to come. Harold Thor, Eternal, Icarus, Kazar. So he's going to be another one for the Pearl Collection crew. Heroes Reborn, Iron Man, and Iron Man 300. Cal Nefaria, and let's see, is there anybody else? Wolfsbane, completed team, hopefully. Shield 3-pack with Nick Fury Jr. I know somebody was asking about him. Dum Dum Dugan and Sharon Carter. How's that a 3-pack? I assume you're just going to take the head off of Nick Fury and replace him with Nick Fury Jr. So there you go. That's a good 3-pack. And that's all that's left. So still a lot of good figures still in the mix to come beyond what we saw today. Collected Disconnect. Did someone say James Howlett? Yes. Lots of good Wolverine figures out there today. Lawson says, I want an Ironclad and a newly sculpted classic Abomination 2-pack. We really need that for sure. I'm surprised we haven't gotten a better version of him. The definitive Abomination. Henry G, loving that patch and Hulk set. Sabertooth looks pretty dope, but man, Warren Worthington III, amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's all you have to do. Just knock out the figure. It's not that hard. And then especially with a figure like that. So you're going, oh man, we knocked out this expensive to mold and create mold. How are we going to get our money back? People are going to buy them. And you got tons of repaint options. Rachel Summers coming this year? She wasn't on any of the lists I've seen so far. Now that clearly was just for like the first half of maybe the first quarter, but hopefully there's still room for Rachel. Classic Moonstone would be cool, especially since we've got all the rest of that Masters of Evil team. And I mean, we need her because we got to get her rolling so we can start rolling out more versions of her for the Thunderbolts. Because there's like 18 different costumes for her in that book. So I get started on that. So let's see. So, oops. So I got those. Oh, also, for those of you who have been patiently waiting, JoJo Classified series Techno Viper has finally come on Amazon. And I don't know what was taking the dude so long. He was just taking the long route to arrive for whatever reason. And he's now arrived, apparently. He might have been sold out by the time that I have mentioned this figure. And for whatever reason, he was just gone. And his pre order information hadn't gone up. But he's there now for all of you who still need to get that figure. It's sold out on Pulse. Of course, I can't find him now because I'm trying to find him for you all. But I'll put the link back up in the dashboard for those of you who still want it. G wants to know, what do you think about the tease? There's so many flame characters that they could do and hopefully do right. Flamebird, maybe a Firestar from the Avengers era where she's in that black collar piece section. That would be an out there choice that would piss off a lot of people, I'm sure, but I'd be really happy to get another member of that team. Dan Ketch, Ghost Rider, Phoenix 2. I mean, maybe Hope Summers. I feel like she was rumored at some point, so she's one that could come out there too. Carlos, we for sure need a new Cable in the blue and yellow. I mean, Cable's another character where there's so many costume variations that they could never really go wrong with. So start doing more Cable figures, and that way people would be like, all right, cool, I want this version. And you know, he's another version knocked off, so the one that you want will be closer to arriving. And I feel like they still haven't done a Marvel versus Capcom version of him too, and I know a lot of people want that look for him, so maybe they can make that happen. Gladiator from Daredevil is long overdue, Lawson. Hopefully somebody will get on that soon. Yo, Joe, with you, 80s kid. Lawson, Frightful 4 box set would be, well, fantastic. And frightful. I would buy that so fast. G-Brew, I'm getting sick, real sick, really sick of the Marvel Legends team teasing Rachel Summers and then never delivering. The last only Rachel figure we got was in the Brood Queen wave. She's in that crop top and mini skirt. That design was bad, and that figure wasn't too great either. So yeah, she's long overdue, especially since she's really holding up two teams from getting completed at this point. I'm not a big X-Force fan, but I dig a Domino. Well, they've done some really nice versions of Domino. One in that 3-pack with the Cannonball with the exclusive legs feature. And then they did one way back when, a more modern version from the time. Is one of those X-Men Build-A-Figure figures? No, it's part of the Deadpool wave, but she's a really good figure. And both versions I like to the point where I didn't get rid of the modern one after the classic X-Force one came out. So I'm friends with you, dying for a Bronze Age Gladiator. Thought we would get one back when Whirlwind was released. And I still need the skin showing Whirlwind to have his classic look in figure form. Not the all covered up version's fine, but I want the one with the muscles showing so he can really fight the Avengers and Wasp and Ant-Man. G Brew, that Rachel figure was good for the time, but she's showing her age these days. Can she stand? Because I feel like that was a problem with those figures too. Jamelin, speaking of Isaiah Bradley, do you think we'll ever get a Patriot? Yes. I think they're waiting for the Young Avengers to come on screen. We've already seen his grandson teased to become to become Patriot. So with the Young Avengers starting to get more movement in the MCU, we got to flesh it out, get him, since his character's already on screen. It's not a leap to think that he'll show up. We've got Scarlet Witch and Vision's kids. We've got Hawkeye, got Miss Marvel. There's tons of opportunities, and I'm sure what they'll probably do is roll out the MCU version. Maybe we'll get a 4-pack with the original Young Avengers and call it a day. Try out the line. I absolutely need, and I'm with you. 3D Man costume is fine, but give me Triathlon. He's got 2 costumes, so I'll take both versions. Maybe we can put him in a 2-pack with Wanda in her more gypsy outfit, and then a standalone triathlon. So I can get both versions, the predominantly white version and the more green colored attire. So make that happen. Lawson, I need the original New Mutants in their black and yellow, Jeffrey. They should finish up those ones that they started because we got Karma, we've got Danny, we've got Wolfsbane, and the rest of the dudes to match those. But I'm with you. We need the original New Mutants attire for those figures. Smaller molds, please, so they're not looking eye to eye with Cyclops as a grown man. G Brew, I agree, Lawson. Give us a Claremont era New Mutants already. Seriously. Tom Finn, Reed, look out for the Frightful Four, Possible Man. Why? Can't they look out for themselves? One of my all-time favorite story arcs from the mid to late 70s. Possible Man would be a fun figure, too. Lawson, give me a Marina so I can finish off Alpha Flight. You gotta get Box, too. You gotta get him. I mean, that design is too cool to be left out. At this point, I'll take obscure characters like Jackdaw. Yeah, I'm going to have to go to Google because I don't know who he is. Just give us more of the Marvel Universe and X-Men, Avengers, and Spider-Man. I mean, that's their bread and butter, but I'm not going to be upset if they were to go more into the Thor, the Iron Man corner of the universe for characters too. Jibber, my crop top Rachel stands fine. It's a Black Energy Phoenix variant. It just needs replaced. Yeah, I'm sure that one definitely would need some assistance and some love on that front. So I told you guys about the sales going on for the fine folks over at Target. And shoot. Oh, there we go. Trying to find my window that had this open. Boss Fight Studio Action Figures has released their Red Sonja Epic Hacks 112 scale action figure of Red Sonja. And this figure looks really amazing and really well done. And again, they do some quality work with this figure. Great articulation, great looking design with this figure, great head sculpt, and all of the accessories that this figure comes with is awesome. We've got 3 different portraits, different armor outfits, layouts. So that's really cool. Different bangles and bracelets, clothes. I mean, you can get all kinds of different looks. So that's really cool. You can kit her out whichever way you want. She's got a broadsword. She's got a little, I don't know that I call that a dagger, though it looks a little bit longer than that. She's got a big axe as well. A lot of great stuff here. And you can do all kinds of customization for your preferred look for Red Sonja. That's really great. And so many great designs. And this articulation looks awesome. All these head sculpts really makes for a really cool posable figure. $50. I don't feel like that's too terrible, too ridiculous. So I think they're doing some good work over at Boss Fight Studio action figure. So let me know if you guys think about that. Is that a cool figure you guys interested in or not? You know, when I said him, I knew Jackdaw was going to be a female figure. She's a female character. She appears as a background character in the Incredible Hulk Sal Buscema days. She has wings. I will check her out for sure. DJ Jedi would love to see a comic-based Isaiah Bradley and Patriot 2-pack. A comic-based Battlestar would be great too. That would be cool. I guess maybe they could do it just another 2-pack and put John Walker in there just as an excuse to put out a new Cap Buck and throw him out there for everybody else who missed him already. Ryan, I don't collect MCU figures, but I had to have the Tom Holland Final Swing Spider-Man from No Way Home, and he is amazing. That figure looks good. I love that costume. When they showed it in the movies, like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. So I can't wait to actually see that costume in full action, featured prominently as a Spider-Man costume going forward in the MCU. Red Sonja. Yeah, Felix. It's an awesome looking figure. Lawston, I do Epic Hacks packaging art, but I haven't gotten the word that I'm working on Sonia or not. Well, that's cool. I did both waves of Boss Fight Studios Epic Hacks skeletons. Now, that is cool. Judge Dreads, sup in here tonight. What's going on, Judge? Comfortable. I want that Sonia. Put her with Konia. You got to, right? Jamelin, I'm honestly surprised they still haven't done a Stingray figure. I thought for sure he was coming in 2023 as part of the Avengers anniversary. Well, excuse me, they did say they were going to continue the Avengers anniversary into 2024. So I guess there's still a chance. and maybe it'll be packaged in a wave with the Wasp classic version. So that'll span all kinds of different eras of the Avengers. Kind of feel like that mindless one, not mindless one, the Void Wave could have had some more classic looks for the Avengers as opposed to the hodgepodge of character selections and figure outfits that they went with. And I think I saw some people already starting to get that. Saw Vision and Chris Starr and those. So that's cool. Be on the lookout for those coming soon. Stingray, I'm wondering if the problem is they haven't figured out a way to do his cape just right. Because I can see that being a real impediment to them getting it done. Because if they botch that, I'm not going to be too happy. Snake Eyes. Red Zone reminds me of the character from God of War. See that? Daniel, I hope she doesn't have a weird butt like the loose collector version. Hopefully not. Jamelin, oh yeah, Red Sonya is a no-brainer for me. Felix, I pre-ordered Red Sonya about an hour ago. Nice. Jeeper, I got one of the Epic Hack skeletons to make a custom of a character I made up in grade school. Quality figure. If Red Sonya is the same quality, should be a great figure. Nice. 80s Kid says that Iron Spider-Man could have been great if they included the spider legs. That is a very good point. They did not. And that is very weird that they did not. And Lawson did hook me up here with an image of Jackdaw. Very interesting look. Maybe they could use some Silver Sable parts to kind of get that in. She is quite obscure. I don't think I've ever seen her before. Wow, that's really cool, Lawson. I have the loose collector version of Red Sonya, but this one looks really good. Definitely a lot more bang for the buck than the LC version. Yeah, I'm with you, Tom. Who's Red Widow? She's, I think I got a little bit confused when they showed Red Widow last time. She's part of the newer version of the Winter Guard, and I thought that was Crimson Cowl, and I was all excited. Oh, cool, we got another member of that team, but really not so much. She's kind of fighting the, and I keep wanting to say modern, but not really modern anymore, version of the Avengers. And let me see, let me pull this picture up for you. There you go. Red Widow is just basically a, hey, here's another version of Black Widow. We're just gonna do this. So if you're collecting at home, you're not really getting much headway with this team right now. Got Ursa Major, got Vanguard, Red Widow's coming. We still have no news on Crimson Dynamo from them. Although I did see some pictures of the Marvel Select Crimson Dynamo. Sadly, nothing in scale with the Marvel Legend Iron Man, as he doesn't look like he's impossibly sized next to the Titanium Man. He looks noticeably and nicely smaller, so I'm kind of excited about that. Let's see if there was a photo of this review so I can show you guys a little bit more. Oh yeah, here it goes. So Marvelous News had pictures of the Crimson Dynamo, and I'm kind of hoping, based on how he sized up here, that he could actually work with the Iron Man figure, that really great 80th anniversary or whatever version you prefer. But I mean, I think this would make him taller than Iron Man, which I think is still accurate without being too ridiculous. Now, this is with the Marvel Select Captain America, so we're not getting that full taste of what he would look like next to Iron Man, but I wish whoever got this figure would have done that, because I really want to see how he looks against the Marvel Legend version. But cool looking version of Crimson Dynamo, and definitely a figure that if he is scaled just so, I'll be grabbing him because I love this Titanium Man. Great, awesome figure. And if we can get one that's that same quality, I'm going to be really happy. Tom Finn, Red Widow is part of the Rainbow Widow Corps. Just kidding. I have no idea who she is either. Lawson says, Boss Fights figures are top of the line. I was a fan before I freelanced for them. Their quality is A+ level. Nice. Ryan, I overpaid for War for Cybertron Bumblebee that flew under my radar before, but now we'll have my definite classic Bumblebee. Oh man, Ryan, I'm not sure which one that is. They've done so many Bumblebee figures, and I'm not even sure. I feel like it is taking way too long to get Bumblebee back in rotation. I feel like he should have been done so many years ago with the studio series line from 86, focus on the movie. Look, and we got Daniel, we got Spike. Where's Bumblebee? Jalen, that's so funny. I thought Jackdaw sounds vaguely familiar, but I had no idea. As soon as you showed the cover, I'm like, oh, I have that issue. Did she ever appear in any other stories? She was in 80s issues of The Incredible Hulk around 83. She's working with the leader. She sounds like somebody who would hang out with the leader. All right, I think that was everything I wanted to go over. Real fast. And I think we've gone so long that we could do this for a later one. But what figure are you most looking forward to out of Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, Star Wars Black Figure Collecting, Transformers, WWE, whatever? Which figures are you most looking forward to? Just the one, not like, your top 10 or whatever. For me, with G.I. Joe Classified series, I feel like it switches all the time. It could be Mutton Junkyard, could be Quick Kick. I really want to see Alpine though, because I feel like he could be my one. I'm really looking forward to Scarlet and Duke, so it's a real toss up. But after having my G.I. Joe Classified retro Snake Eyes and putting him into action, let's see, pull that picture up for y'all. I really want to get this retro Scarlet. Like, she is the one that I'm really excited about adding to my squad, to the collection. I finally opened my retro Snake Eyes, and every bit as good as I was hoping. And he looks great. And when I posed him with Scarlet, and Stalker was like, yeah, gotta get this retro Scarlet. She is absolutely necessary right now. And the Snake Eyes figure is awesome and really good. I can't wait, and hoping that a retro version 2 is coming. Anybody has G.I. Joe issue 31, try to do that shot. I'm going to really do it properly, where Destro throws a grenade in, or Snake Eyes is trying to get the grenade out of his cabin when Firefly, Destro, and Fred are invading. But it's a fun figure. And the retro Storm Shadow, also great. Really happy to have both of them. But yeah, even down to the grenades with the detailing on them, that's really cool. And there we go. So I can't wait to get more of these figures to complete this. But retro Scarlet, we're going to take her place real fast. So I guess she's my number one most wanted G.I. Joe figure. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Wow, Raiders of 35 zip in the Chargers are just a dumpster fire. I think Brandon Staley needs to work on his resume ASAP. 80s Kid, I'm excited for next week's Transformers live stream. Cool. Right, Marvel Wasp, yes. And I think she's gonna be really fun. I didn't want to necessarily cheat and say Giant Man, but on the bigger scale, Giant Man, and on the normal scale, definitely Angel for me. Looking forward to Retro Duke. Nice. Ken Robinson, what's up, man? Yo, Jeff, I need that new Angel figure most out of everything. G.I. Joe, Mutton Junkyard, Ryan, that's not a bad choice at all. Lawson, I want Alpine, and I want them to do a blowtorch. It's got to be coming soon. Felix, Scarlet, Blake, Mezco Doom. I saw a video review. I think it was D Amazing who did the Fantastic Four. Whew. Boy, quality stuff. Did you get yours yet, by the way? Lawson, Retro Scarlet looks sick. She does. G-Brew, Goblin Queen for Marvel Legends, About to Die Leo for Last Ronin, NECA TMNT, Mayfax Phoenix, Retro Scarlet for G.I. Joe. My current Scarlet is going away when I get the new one. I have my modern Scarlet on the bookcase there. She's not going back on the G.I. Joe display. Waiting on Retro Scarlet to take her place. Lost says, Jeffrey, you giving Scarlet the ponytail or keeping her hair short like the original 82 figure? Dude, I'm going to do both because I love the fact that you can take the ponytail off to actually have that original look. So I am definitely going to shoot her a few times without the ponytail, and hopefully that hole in the back won't show up too big. But yeah, I love the fact that they did that. I had to do the ponytail. Love the cartoon. I mean, they changed her hair in the comic, so I guess that's pretty much canon at this point. Felix, classic Snake Eyes is fire. He is. G-Brew, I'm likewise giving Scarlet that ponytail. Yes. Comfortable. Where did you get that retro Snake Eyes? Thanks to one of my great friends here watching on the channel. Definitely appreciate it. So you know who you are. Thank you again, my friend. Want a porcupine bat from Legends. That would be really fun. I can't believe what they would do with that figure. It'd be really cool. Ryan, Jojo 31 was one of my favorite issues of the series. Love that whole Battle of Snake Eyes cabin, which I will almost be able to fully reenact with Airborne coming. So, yes, I'm going to have to find a big patch of woods where I can set up a cabin and have Snake Eyes come out the door in his dress togs, ready for action. And I'm looking forward to getting Airborne just for this issue. And it was so much fun. Great artwork from Rod Wiggum and just awesome issue. As well as Clutch with Vamp. And maybe I should also throw that caveat in with the vehicle Clutch. So yeah, that's a great choice too. Jamelin, that OG 13 group shot was really cool. I don't know if it was on purpose, but I kind of like that we couldn't see Shooter's face. It was on purpose. Also, Retro Scarlet and Alpine. Yes. Yeah, that was definitely intentional on that one, just to keep her a little bit mysterious. Airborne. Blake, Jeff, my Mezco Fantastic Four and Doom I ordered through Big Bad Toy Store, so it may come after Mezco ships theirs. Probably, but you'll get it eventually, so that's cool. Tom Finn, the Figma Arcude Brunstead from, oh man, I'm not going to butcher that name. Been waiting 8 years for Figma to make her. I hope they deliver really well on that figure for you. That's a long wait. Carlos, the neck of Last Ronin line is going to be amazing. Can't wait to get a hold of the Casey Jones fig. Casey Jones is always awesome. Jamelin from Marvel, the Passion Fix It 2-pack are pretty high on my list. G. Bruce says Snake Eyes is the only Joe. I have 2 different versions of. I can't decide between Retro Snake Eyes and Ninja Snake Eyes for who's cooler. Most toyetic Joe ever. With you. All right, well, gang, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Thursday night. I'm probably going to be cranking out a few videos over the weekend. Hopefully, my His Tank unboxing, my Marvel Legends top 10, and hopefully that'll be really fun to put together and all that good stuff. And make sure as you watch those videos to drop comments, let me know your choices for those figures. But for now, wrapping it up. And thank you so much for hanging out on this Thursday, watching with me. Till next time, this episode of House Figure Files has been filed.